please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Well, just keep an eye out on those flashes that are up for you on the screen. Doesn't look like too good news for Coal India. And that's the big CNBC TV18 exclusive. We learned from sources that the Odisha government has sent a penalty notice of over 20,000 crore rupees to Coal India subsidiary MCL. Anshu is on top of that story. She joins in on the phone line with all those details. Anshu, not looking very good for Coal India.
That's right. In an order given by Supreme Court on August 2nd, it directed compensation to be levied as penalty to all the miners from the date of financial year 2000, 2001 to 2009 and 10 for mining across India. And the Mines Ministry accordingly sent out notices to the states to recover the penalty amount. And now we understand that Odisha government has sent out a notice of 20,169 crore to MCL, which is Mahanadi Coalfields, which is also one of the highest coal producing subsidiary of Coal India. Remember, the Coal India, we wrote to Coal India seeking a comment on the same, though they refused to comment on it. But we understand that the cash reserve for Coal India is close to 31,000 crores, so it's a big blow. These are on the account of violating environmental clearance norm as well as mining plan. Apart from that, we understand from Odisha government sources that they are also assessing forest norms violation and assessing the amount for penalty. So there could be another penalty which could be slapped in Coal India. But this is not just for Coal India, but for any miners which are in the state of Odisha. And if industry sources are to be believed, other mining states like Jharkhand, Goa, Karnataka are also assessing such violation of environment, mining plan and forest clearances, and there could be slew of penalty notices to the companies operating in these states. Back to you.
All right, Anshu, thanks very much for those details. And the stock, of course, nosedive now down. Market trending with strength. Let's get you an exclusive conversation with CNBC TV18. Economic Affairs Secretary S.C. Garg says that private investment will contribute to India's growth soon. He adds that the framework of bank recapitalization is in place, but the government is deciding upon the means of issuing the recap bonds.
The private investment channel, which was sort of weak for quite some time, and you didn't see the investment coming from the private sector. Other engines of growth were firing reasonably well. That's also turning around. You see in a number of ways. The core sector number came yesterday, growing at 5%, which indicate the IBC is resolving the stalled projects, etc. Those are also turning around. You see the and the output gap also in the economy, which was created because of large investments in 2008 and 2011, is also closing now. So everything indicate to me that going forward, the private investment channel would also be contributing its might to the growth story of India. What is still being worked out is whether they should be inside the government, in the sense that the government would issue those bonds, or we can use some investment vehicle or other means of doing it. What should be the terms and conditions for these bonds, in terms of interest rates and in terms of the SLR status and all. So those are being worked out. It's a matter of only a few weeks. And some amount of recapitalization would definitely take place within this financial year, and the rest in the next year.
The equity market, but let's take a break from those markets. Let's shift focus on the commodity segment. Manisha is with us to tell us what's going on there. Hey, Manisha.
Hi, thank you so much for that. Well, the commodity markets also are doing quite well. Well, we already have made a point on how the metals as a space is buzzing, where you have the nickel prices up by nearly 5% in New York yesterday, in Shanghai today, and of course on MCX as an Indian market as well. So 2.5% up on the front month, but as and when you look at the December and the January contract months, it's trading nearly 4 to 5% on the higher side in those months as well. What also is making new highs now is the crude oil prices. We are inching towards 62 barrel per mark now on the Brent. And if you look at the US crude oil prices, 55 is almost on the radar. Well, there have been various statements, of course, from OPEC and the allies talking about extension and deepening of output cuts. That, of course, has been the fanning this rally, which has been on the higher side. On the other side, it also is about Saudi Arabia making a statement that they are going to increase oil prices for their Asian customers. Apart from that, it also has to do with the kind of global inventory decline that we have seen. The latest monthly data also shows that there is a plateauing or even decline in the US output numbers. Remember, the US rig count in any case has been declining. The inventory withdrawal has been quite consistent in last many weeks, and that has been supportive. Most importantly, for all of these markets now will be to watch out for the US Fed announcement later today in the evening and the new US Fed chief. These are a couple of things that would tell the markets on what size the currencies are moving, and that would impact commodities as well. And of course, apart from that, it is the US non-farm payroll data. The direction that it takes would also be impacting many of these markets. But as of now, the industrial commodities, especially whether it's energy or the metal space, is all trading between 1% to nearly 4.5% to 5% on the higher side right now.
All right, with that, we'll wrap up then on Halftime Report. Manisha, thanks very much for that. Do stay tuned. Business Lunch will take all the action forward.